2 didn't plan to do it right now, but we're doing it right now, so...
All of our readings and
Well, sometimes I give little posts on my accounts and I say, heads up, in some amount of time later, we're gonna do a reading. I didn't do it at all, so people are gonna have to catch it in the past, which means
living on the edge.
probably no one will watch it. Actually, so far, besides Twilight, this has got the most traffic, and people have been like, all over this is amazing. And people are like, I hate this story, it's toxic.
That's why I love to hear people make fun of it.
That is true. People love to hear us make fun of these things.
Yeah.
When we last left our not heroes, Christian was stalking her at the store, the Menards.
Yeah, and then this one dude came in and he was like, well, I'm also hot for Anna, but not enough that I'll pass up money.
And then there was Jose the vampire, who's not
Jose the
really a
Who might
vampire.
come back later and be a real creep, but it's unclear. He might be like Barton and Jacob for this story.
And they set up a photography date. And possibly more?
What?
Okay. Chapter 3 of 50 Shades of Bullshit. Kate is ecstatic. But what
Don't
was
you
he...
mean Miss Kavanaugh?
Miss Carvany. But what was he doing at Clayton's? Her curiosity oozed through the phone. I'm in the depths of the stockroom, trying to keep my voice casual.
This entire time, Kate was actually Ghost, and that's the real reason she didn't come to the interview.
The accident wasn't your fault, Anastasia. You have to let me go.
You have to let me go.
That's the real story.
Just leaving ectoplasm everywhere.
Disgusting. I suppose he was in the area. Well, I think that's one huge coincidence on it. You don't think he was there to see you? My heart lurches at the prospect, but it's a short-lived joy. The dull, disappointing reality is that he was here on business.
The dull, disappointing reality is he lives in a fucking another city, so he absolutely was there to see you, but you never told him where you worked, so he's a stalker.
He was just visiting the farming division of WSU. You know, he is funding on some research. Oh yes, he's given the department a $2.5 million grant. Wow. How do you know this? Anna, I'm the journalist, and I've written a profile on the guy. It's my job to know this. Okay, Carla Bernstein. I don't know that reference. Keep your hair on. So, do you want these photos?
Wig snatch.
Of course I do. The question is, who's going to do them and where? We could ask him where. He said he's staying in the area. You can contact him. I do have his cell phone number. Kate gasps. The richest, most elusive, most enigmatic bachelor in Washington State just gave you his cell phone number? Yeah? Anna, he likes you, no doubt about it. Her tone is emphatic. Kate, he's just trying to be nice. But even as I say the words, I know they're not true. Christian Grey doesn't do nice. He does polite, maybe, in a small, quiet whisper.
Know him like that, first of all, and second of all, girls like Anna are so fucking annoying. Can I just put that out there?
But perhaps Kate is right. My scalp prickles at the idea that maybe, just maybe, he might like me. After all, he did say he was glad Kate didn't do the interview. I hug myself with quiet glee, rocking from side to side, entertaining the possibility that he might like me. Kate brings me back to the now. I don't know who we're going to get to do the shoot. Levi, our regular photographer, can't. He's home in Idaho Falls for the weekends. He's going to be pissed that he blew an opportunity to photograph one of America's leading entrepreneurs. What about Jose? That's a great idea. You ask him. He'll do anything for you. Then call Gray and find out where he wants us.
Use this man's feelings.
Kate is irritatingly cavalier about Jose. I think you should call him. Who, Jose? No, Gray. Anna, you're the one with the relationship. Relationship? I squeak at her, my voice rising several octaves. I barely know the guy.
Oh my god, a relationship can mean anything.
Oh
It
my
doesn't mean
god.
You're dating.
At least you've met him, she says bitterly. And it looks like he wants to know you better, Anna. Just call him. She snaps and hangs up. God, she can be so bossy sometimes.
She's probably just as annoyed of you as we are, because she has to live with you.
I frown at my cell phone, sticking my tongue out at it. Okay. That's what an adult does.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving
I mean,
a message.
We've already established that she's basically a child.
That's
I
true.
guess. She's one of those.
I'm just leaving a message for Jose when Paul enters the stockroom looking for sandpaper. We're kind of busy here, Anna, he says. Yeah, sorry, I mutter, turning to leave. So how come you know Christian Grey? Paul's voice is unconvincingly nonchalant. I had an interview for him for our student newspaper. Kate wasn't well.
She's dead.
I shrugged, trying to sound casual and doing no better than him. Christian Grey and Clayton's. Go figure. Paul snorts amazed. He shakes his head as if to clear it. Anyway, you want to grab a drink or something with me this evening? Damn, Paul.
Shoot your shot.
Whenever he's home, he always asks me on a date, and I always say no. It's such a ritual. I've never considered it a good idea to date the boss's brother. And besides, Paul is cute in that whole wholesome, all-American boy-next-door kind of way.
Don't be a bitch about it.
But
you can just say no.
He's no literary hero, not by any stretch of the imagination. But is Grey? My subconscious asks me.
No, he's a criminal.
Her eyebrow figuratively raised. I slap my consciousness down. Don't you have like a family dinner or something for your brother? That's tomorrow, Anna. Alright, well maybe some other time, Paul. I need to study tonight. I have my finals next week. Oh, Anna, one of these days you'll say yes. He smiles as I escape to the store floor. But I do places, Anna, not people. Jose groans. There's not even a break there. There's no break or anything. It was just suddenly, now we're talking to Jose.
Oh.
Yeah, but I do places, Anna, not people, Jose groans.
I forgot Jose is a different person.
Oh yeah, she was talking to Paul, because I didn't do flim-flam voice for Paul.
Jose and Paul are the same.
There's too many characters, and there's no scene breaks. It's all just one paragraph.
And, we all know that nobody matters except for Chris and fucking, Anna.
Jose, please, I beg. I place the living room out of our apartment, clutching my cell and staring out the window at the fading evening light. Oh, just give me that phone. Kate grabs the handset from me, tossing her silken reddish blonde hair over her shoulder. Okay. Listen here, Jose Rodriguez. Could you find 2 more cliche names to put together? If you want our newspaper to cover the opening of your show, you'll do the shoot for us tomorrow, capiche? Kate can be so awesomely tough. Good,
well,
Anna will call back.
Somebody else is awesomely tough,
yeah.
But when it's me, it's annoying and bossy.
Good, Anna will call back with the location and call time. We'll see you tomorrow. She snaps my cell phone off. Sorted. All we need to do now is decide where and when. Now call him. She holds the phone out to me and my stomach twists. Call Grey now. I scowl at her and reach into my back pocket for his business card. I take deep, steadying breaths, and with shaking fingers I dial the number.
Why does she need Christian if she already has a dom in her life?
Yeah. He answers on the second ring. His tone is clipped, calm, and cold. Grey? Grey, he says. I don't know, because it's written so badly.
Grey?
Grey?
Just confirmed.
Mr. Grey, it's Anastasia Steele. I don't recognize my own voice. I'm so nervous. There's a brief pause. Inside, I'm quaking. Miss Steele, how nice to hear from you. His voice has changed. He's surprised, I think. And he sounds so warm. Seductive, even. My breath hitches and I flush. I'm suddenly conscious that Catherine Kavanaugh is staring at me, her mouth open, and I dart into the kitchen to avoid her unwanted scrutiny. Well, I'd like to go ahead with the photo shoot for the article. Breathe, Anna, breathe. My lungs drag in a hasty breath. Tomorrow, if that's okay? Where would be convenient for you, sir? I can almost hear his sphinx-like smile through the phone. Well, I'm staying at the Heathman in Portland. Shall we say, 9:30 tomorrow morning? Okay, well, I'll see you there. I'm all gushy and breathy like a child, not a grown woman who can vote and drink legally.
Stop with the like a child. Stop.
Well, I look forward to it, Miss Steele. I visualize the wicked gleam in his eye. How can he make 7 little words hold so much tantalizing promise?
The worst thing is, why do you think of a child when you think of these things? What child is blushing and gushing? That's
Gushy
gross.
child. I hang up. Kate's in the kitchen and she's staring at me with a look of complete and utter consternation in her face. Anastasia Rose Steele, you like him. I've never seen or heard you so affected by anyone before. You're blushing. Oh, Kate, you know I blush all the time. It's an occupational hazard with me. Don't be ridiculous. I snap. She blinks at me with surprise. I rarely have hissy fits, and I briefly relent.
You fucking fucking beg to differ.
I just find him intimidating, that's all. Heathman, that figures, mutters Kate. I'll give the manager a call and negotiate a space for the shoot. I'll make supper, then I need to study. I cannot hide my fluster with her as I open one of the cupboards to make supper. I am restless that night, tossing, turning, dreaming of smoky gray eyes, coveralls, long legs, long fingers. Is he a spider?
Long man. He's like Slenderman, but with hair.
Dark, unexplored places. His asshole?
Does he have hair? I don't know if we've mentioned his hair.
Yeah, it's probably
he could
gray.
Just be Slenderman.
I wake twice in the night, my heart pounding. God, she wants to be Bella so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to look just great tomorrow with so little sleep.
There watching
Yeah, probably. I punch my pillow and try to settle.
I punch myself in the face to pass out. I need to sleep.
The Heathman is nestled in the heart of downtown Portland. Its impressive brownstone edifice was completed just in time for the crash of the late 1920s.
Y'all ever just want to fuck a building?
Like, just fuck stones? Jose, Travis, and I are traveling in my Beetle, and Kate is in her CLK. I don't know or care. Since we can't all fit in my car, why not? Beetles have 4 chairs. What the fuck?
What kind of Beetle?
Like, Volkswagens have 4 seats.
Maybe one of them is too long.
Oh, good lord.
Maybe Jose is too long.
Jose's
they have Christian with him. He might be too
He's too long. Travis is Jose's friend and gopher, here to help out with the lighting. Kate has managed to acquire the use of a room at the Heathman free of charge. Oh, fuck off. Like, we're doing a student newspaper. Can we have a free room? Mm-hmm. I would laugh. Like, as the hotel manager.
Maybe her pops has the ownership.
Maybe. When she explains at reception that we're here to photograph Christian Grey, CEO, we are instantly upgraded to a suite. Just a regular-sized suite, however, as apparently Mr. Grey is already occupying the largest one in the building.
Why the hell would you use a suite for a photo shoot? Wouldn't you want the conference room?
Yeah. An over-keen marketing executive shows up in the suite. He's terribly young and very nervous for some reason. I suspect Kate's beauty and commanding manner disarm him, because he's putty in her hands. The rooms are elegant, understated, and opulently furnished. So you would want the conference room.
Yeah.
So you could have more room to set up lighting in a shoot.
Yeah, because, like, where are you going to put the fucking lighting?
On the bed. It's 9. We have a half an hour to set up. Kate is in full flow.
We're going to be super inconvenient to housekeeping for no reason.
For no reason. It's 9. We have a half hour to set up. Kate is in full flow. Jose, I think we'll shoot against the wall. Don't you agree? She doesn't wait for his reply. Travis, clear the chairs. Anna, could you ask housekeeping to bring up some refreshments and let Gray know where we are? Yes.
Because that's their job.
Yeah, oh no, we'd just laugh right at your face. I'd be like, oh, you can call Desk for that. And Desk will be like, you can come down and pick some up.
We do offer refreshments.
Yes, mistress. She is so domineering, I roll my eyes but do as I'm told. Half an hour later, Christian Grey walks into our suite. Holy crap! That's literally what it says. He's wearing a white shirt, open at the collar, in gray flannel pants that hang from his hips. His unruly hair is still damp from a shower. My mouth goes dry looking at him. He's so freaking hot. It's italicized. Gray is followed into the suite by a man in his mid-30s, all buzz-cut and stubble in a sharp, dark suit and tie, who stands silently in the corner. His hazel eyes watch us impassively. Miss Steele, we meet again. Gray extends his hand, and I shake it, blinking rapidly. Oh my, he really is quite... As I touch his hand, I'm aware of that delicious current running right through me, lighting me up, making me blush, and I'm sure my erratic breathing must be audible.
Wow, that's really uncomfortable for everyone here.
Mr. Gray, this is Catherine Kavanagh, I mutter, waving a hand towards Kate, who comes forward, looking him squarely in the eyes. Ah, the tenacious Miss Kavanagh. How do you do? He gives her a smile, looking genuinely amused. I trust you're feeling better. Anastasia said you were on whale last week. I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Gray. She shakes his hand firmly without batting an eyelid. I remind myself that Kate has been to the best private schools in Washington. Her family has money, and she's grown up much more confident and sure of her place in the world. I like how she's just like, I'm fine, thank you. And she's like, oh, God, she's so professional.
Yeah, and it's not like you have to come from money to just have confidence.
Yeah.
Or, like, go to a fancy school.
Thank you, Mr. Gray, for taking the time to do this. She gives him a polite, professional smile. Well, it sure is a pleasure. He answers, turning his gaze on me. And I flush again. Oh, damn it. This is Jose Rodriguez, our photographer. I say, grinning at Jose, who smiles with affection back at me. His eyes cool when he looks from me to Gray. Ah, Mr. Gray. He nods. Mr. Rodriguez? Gray's expression changes too as he appraises Jose. Where would you like me? Gray asks him, and his tone sounds vaguely threatening. Well, I read that wrong. But Catherine is not about to let Jose run the show.
How would you sound threatening with where would you like
Where would you like me? I don't know. Mr.
inside your butthole.
Mr. Gray, if you could sit here, please. Be careful of the lighting cables, and then we'll do a few standing ones, too. Kate directs him to a chair set up against the wall. Travis switches on the lights, momentarily blinding Gray and muttering an apology. Then Travis and I stand back and watch as Jose proceeds to snap away. He takes several photographs, handheld, asking Gray to turn this way, then that, to move his arm, then put it down again. Moving to the tripod, Jose takes several more, while Gray sits, poses patiently and naturally, for about 20 minutes. My wishes come true. I can stand and admire Gray from not so afar. Twice our eyes lock, and I have to tear myself away from the cloudy gaze.
So uncomfortable.
It's so dumb. It's so fucking boring.
You don't need this many people here. It's so crowded.
You really don't need
and
four
for
people.
such a small room because they got downgraded to the suite.
Yeah, and he's just sitting.
It's also weird and like sexual tension between like everyone in the fucking room. Stop.
Enough sitting. Kate wades in again. Standing, Mr. Gray? She asks. He stands and Travis scurries in to remove the chair. The shutter on Jose's Nikon starts clicking again. Well, I think we have enough, Jose announces 5 minutes later. Great, says Kate. Thank you again, Mr. Gray. She shakes his hand and so does Jose. I look forward to reading your article, Miss Cavanaugh, murmurs Gray and turns to me, standing by the door. Will you walk with me, Miss Steele? He asks. Sure, I say, completely thrown. I glance anxiously at Kate, who shrugs at me. I notice Jose scowling behind her. Good day to all y'all, says Gray as he opens the door, standing aside to allow me out first. Oh my God, what was this about? What does he want? I pause in the hotel corridor, fidgeting nervously as Gray emerges from the room, followed by Mr. Buzzcut in a sharp suit.
I would love so much for him to just stab her.
I'll call you later, Taylor, he murmurs to Buzzcut. Taylor wanders back down the corridor and Gray turns his burning gray eyes to me. Oh God. Crap. Have I done something wrong?
Quick, pee yourself. Run away.
I wonder if you'd like to join me for coffee this morning. My heart slams into my mouth. A date? Christian Gray is asking me on a date. He's asking if you want coffee. Maybe he thinks you haven't woken up yet. Oh God, my subconscious whines at me in a sneering mood again. I clear my throat, trying to control my nerves. I have to drive everyone home, I murmur apologetically, twisting my hands and fingers in front of me. Taylor! He calls, making me jump. Taylor, who had been retreating down the corridor, turns and heads back to us. Are they based at the university? Gray asks, his voice soft and inquiring. I nod, too stunned to speak. Well, then Taylor can take him. He's my driver. We have a large 4x4 here, so he'll be able to take all the equipment, too.
Unless she was politely trying to reject you.
Yeah. Mr. Gray? Taylor asks when he reaches us, giving nothing away. Please, Taylor, can you drive the photographer and his assistant, Miss Cavanaugh, back to their home, please? Certainly, sir, Taylor replies. There. Now you can join me for coffee. Gray smiles if it's a done deal. I frown. Mr. Gray, this really... Look, Taylor doesn't have to drive them home. I flash a brief look at Taylor, who remains stoically impassive. I'll swap vehicles with Kate if you give me a moment. Gray smiles a dazzling, unguarded, natural, all-teeth showing glorious smile.
My
that
God.
was a lot.
He has milk teeth.
Milk teeth. Oh my. He opens the door of the suite so I can go in. I scoot around him to re-enter the room, finding Catherine in a deep discussion with Jose. Anna, I definitely think he likes you, she says with no preamble whatsoever. Jose glares at me with disapproval. But I don't trust him. She adds. I raise my hand up in hope that she'll stop talking, and by some miracle she does. Kate, if you take Wanda, can I take your car? Why? Christian Grey has asked me to go for coffee with him. Her mouth pops open. Speechless Kate. I savor the moment. She grabs me by the arm and drags me into the bedroom that's off the living area of the suite. Anna, there's something about him. Her tone is full of warning. He's gorgeous, I agree, but I think he's dangerous, especially for someone like you.
And she's not wrong.
What do you mean, someone like me? I demand.
You know, someone's stupid and compares herself to a child every time she feels a sexual feeling.
An innocent like you, Anna. You know what I mean. She says, irritated. Kate, it's just coffee. I'm starting my exams this week, and I need to study, so I'm not going to be long. She purses her lips as if considering my request. Finally, she fishes her car keys out of her pocket and hands them to me, and I hand her mine. I will see you later. Do not be long, or I'll send out a search and rescue. Gee, thanks, I hug her. I emerge from the suite to find
God,
Christian
I hate
Grey.
my friends always being worried about me for running off with strange men that I don't really know.
Literal psychos.
Has enough money to make me disappear and no one ever questions.
I emerge from the suite to find Christian Grey waiting, leaning up against the wall, looking like a male model in a pose for some glossy high-end magazine. Okay, let's do coffee, I murmur, flushing a beet red, and he grins. After you, Miss Steele. He stands up straight, holding his hand out for me to go first. I make my way down the corridor, my knees shaky, my stomach full of butterflies, and my heart in my mouth thumping a dramatic, uneven beat. I'm going to have coffee with Christian Grey. I'm gonna have coffee.
It's just coffee.
I hate coffee. We walk together. We walk together down the wide hotel corridor to the elevators. Oh my god, what am I going to say to him? My mind is suddenly paralyzed with apprehension. What are we going to talk about? What on earth do I have in common with him? His soft, warm voice startles me from my reverie. How long you known Miss Catherine Cavanaugh? Oh god, good. An easy question for starters. Since our freshman year, she's a good friend. He replies non-committally. What is he thinking? At the elevators, he presses the call button and the bell rings almost immediately. The doors slide open, revealing a young couple in a passionate embrace inside. Ew. Surprised and embarrassed, they jump apart, staring guiltily in every direction but ours.
What fucking world does this woman live in?
Just horny world.
Like, no one acts like this.
Gray and I step into the elevator. I am struggling to maintain a straight face, so I gaze down at the floor, feeling my cheeks turn pink. When I peek up at Gray through my lashes, he has the hint of a smile on his lips, but it's very hard to tell. The young couple say nothing, and we travel down to the first floor in embraced silence. We don't even have bland piped elevator music to distract us.
Is he gonna finger her in the elevator? I think there is a scene where he, like, ass fucks her in the elevator.
Yeah, that's not here, though, because the doors are opening. And much to my surprise, Gray takes my hand, clasping it with his long fingers. I feel the current run through me, and my already rapid heartbeat accelerates.
Is he fucking Static Shock?
Apparently. As he leads me out of the elevator, we can hear the suppressed giggles of the couple erupting behind us, and Gray grins. I say, what is it about elevators? He mutters. We cross the expansive, bustling lobby of the hotel toward the entrance, but Gray avoids the revolving door, and I wonder if that's because he'd have to let go of my hand. Outside, it's a mild May Sunday. The sun is shining and the traffic is light. Gray turns left and strolls to the corner, and where we wait for the crosswalk to change. He's still holding my hand.
Oh my god, if you don't like it, say something.
I'm in the street, in public, and Christian Grey is holding my hand. No one's ever held my hand. I don't believe that. I feel giddy and I tingle all over.
Yeah, like, surely your parent has held your hand, at least across the street.
I attempt to smother the ridiculous grin that threatens to split my face in two. Try to be cool, Anna, my subconscious implores me. The green man appears, and we're off again.
The green man.
That's so ominous. I was like, what? We walk 4 blocks before we reach the Portland Coffee House, where Gray releases me to open the door so I can step inside.
Why do we need to know all of this?
Why don't you choose a table? I'll go get our drinks. What would you like? He asks, polite as always. I'll have, English breakfast tea, the bag out. He raises his eyebrows. No coffee. I'm not keen on coffee. He smiles. All right, bag out tea. Sugar? For a moment I'm stunned, thinking it's an endearment. But my subconscious kicks in with pursed lips. No, stupid, do you take sugar? No thanks. I stare down at my knotted fingers. You want anything to eat? No, thank you. I shake my head and he heads to the counter. I surreptitiously gaze at him from beneath my lashes as he stands in line waiting to be served. I could watch him all day. He's tall, broad-shouldered,
Oh my god,
slim,
no.
in the way those pants hang from
He's
his
got
hips.
feminine hips.
Oh my. Once or twice he runs his long, graceful fingers through his now dry but still disorderly hair.
So he has hair. He's slipping in with a wig.
I'd like to do that. It's just how it's written. The thought comes unbidden in my mind and my face aflames. I bite my lip and stare down at my hands again, not liking where my wayward thoughts are headed.
If you condensed all of the needlessly long sentences and took out all the mentions of Christian Grey being tall or having long fingers, it'd probably only be 200 pages.
Yeah. Penny for your thoughts. Gray is back, startling me. I go crimson. I was just thinking about running my fingers through your hair and wondering if it would feel soft to touch.
Yeah,
I shake my head. He's carrying a tray. He sets it down. Small, round, birch veneer table. He hands me a cup and saucer, a small teapot, and a side plate bearing a lone tea bag ladled Twinings English breakfast. Oh my god, it's my favorite. He has a coffee that bears a wonderful leaf pattern imprinted in the milk. Oh my god, how do they do that, I wonder idly. He also brought himself a blueberry muffin. A muffin. Putting the tray aside, he sits opposite me, crosses his long... I'm just reading it as it is. He looks so comfortable, so at ease with his body. I envy him. Here's me, gawky, uncoordinated, barely able to get from A to B without falling flat on my face.
I can't pronounce uncoordinated.
Your thoughts, he prompts me. This is my favorite tea. My voice is quiet, breathy. I simply cannot believe it. I'm sitting opposite of Christian Grey in a coffee shop in Portland. He's frowning. He knows I'm hiding something. I pop the tea bag into the teapot and almost immediately fish it back out again with my teaspoon. As I place the used tea bag back on the side plate, he cocks his head, gazing quizzically at me. I like my tea black and weak, I mutter as an explanation.
What?
I see.
What?
Is he your...
Oh, what? Huh? 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 You just... Huh?
I see.
It's not tea!
Is he your boyfriend? Whoa, what? Who? The photographer, Jose Rodriguez. I laugh, nervous but curious.
I'm gonna fucking...
Tea's done.
It's not tea. You just like drinking warm water, like a psychopath.
Imagine just wasting the tea bag of just like, blop, blop.
It has to steep, you stupid bitch, or it's not tea!
Like, nothing would have even come out.
No!
Like,
it might be the slightest bit discolored. It'd be like a little bit yellow.
Yeah, if that. Stupid.
Ugh.
They don't even know how to drink tea.
Oh!
I laughed, nervous but curious. What gave him that impression? No, Jose's a good friend of mine, that's all. Why'd you think he was my boyfriend? Well, the way you smiled at him, and the way he smiles at you. His gaze holds mine. He's so unnerving. I want to look away, but I'm caught, spellbound. He's more like family, I whisper. Gray nods, seemingly satisfied with my response, and glances down at his blueberry muffin. His long fingers deftly peel back the paper, and I watch, fascinated.
As he gets crumbs fucking everywhere.
You want some? He asks, and that amused secret smiles back. No thanks. I frown and stare down at my hands again. And that boy I met yesterday at the store, he's not your boyfriend either. No, Paul's just a friend, I told you yesterday. Oh, this is getting silly. Why are you asking? Well, you just seem nervous around men. Holy crap, that's personal. I'm just nervous around you, Gray. I find you intimidating. I flush scarlet but mentally pat myself on the back for my candor and gaze at my hands again. I hear his sharp breath of intake. Ah, you should find me intimidating. He nods. You're very honest. Please don't look down. I like to see your face. Oh, I glance at him, and he gives me an encouraging but wry smile. It gives me some sort of clue as to what you might be thinking. You're a mystery to me, Miss Steele.
There
You're
it
the
is.
only thoughts I can't read.
That's because she's never thinking.
Head empty. Mysterious? Me? There's nothing mysterious about me. Well, I think you're very self-contained, he murmurs. Am I? Wow.
No.
How am I managing that?
She
This is so
freaks out
bewildering.
all the goddamn time.
Me? Self-contained? There's no way. He's saying this to me? Except when you blush, of course, which is often I just wish I knew what you were possibly blushing about.
Or when she freaks out, or when she yells, or when she's like always fidgeting.
He pops a piece of muffin into his mouth and starts to chew it slowly, not taking his eyes off of me. And as if on cue, I blush. Do you always make such personal observations? I hadn't realized I was. Have I offended you? He sounds surprised. No,
How
I
would
answer.
You not? It'd be like going up to somebody and being like, "Hey, you got a big nose. And you cry a lot. What's that about?"
Good. But you're very high-handed. He raises his eyebrows as, if I'm not mistaken, flushes slightly too. Well, I'm used to getting my own way, Anastasia. In all things. I don't doubt it. Why haven't you asked me to call you by your first name? I'm surprised by my own audacity. Why has this conversation become so serious? This isn't going the way I thought it was going to.
It doesn't seem serious at all.
Can't believe I'm feeling so antagonistic towards him. It's like he's trying to warn me off. Well, the only people who use my given name are my family and my few close friends. That's the way I like it. Oh, he still hasn't said, call me Christian. Oh, he is a control freak. There's no other explanation. And part of me is thinking maybe it would have been better if Kate had interviewed him. Two control freaks together? Plus, of course, she's almost blonde. Well, strawberry blonde, like all the women in his office. And she's beautiful, my subconscious reminds me.
What's
I don't
happening?
like the idea of Christian and Kate. I take a sip of my tea, and Gray eats another small piece of muffin. Say, are you an only child? He asks. Whoa, he keeps changing direction.
It's just trying.
That is literally, whoa! Yes? Tell me about your parents. Oh my god, why does he want to know this stuff?
If he's like, what's your favorite color? She can be like, oh my god!
I mean-
what are we, married?
Tell me about your parents. Why does he want to know all this? My mom lives in Georgia with her new husband, Bob. My stepdad lives in Monte Santo. Your father. My father died when I was a baby. I'm sorry. He mutters, and a fleeting troubled
Generally,
look
when
crosses
people
his
don't
face.
mention one parent, it's because of a reason.
I don't remember him, it's fine. And your mother remarried. I snort. You could say that. He frowns at me. Well, you're not giving much away, are you? He says dryly,
Well,
rubbing
you
his
didn't
chin
really
as if
give
in
her
deep
any
thought.
Time, did ya?
Well, neither are you. You've interviewed me once already, and I can recollect some quite probing questions then. He smirks at me. Holy shit, he's remembering the gay question. Once again, I'm mortified. In the years to come, I'll know I need intensive therapy to not feel this embarrassment every time I recall that moment. I start babbling about my mother, anything to block that memory. My mom is wonderful. She's an incurable romantic. She's currently on her fourth husband. Christian raises his eyebrows in surprise. I miss her. I continue, she has Bob now. I just hope he can keep an eye on her and pick up the pieces where her harebrained schemes don't go as planned. I smile fondly. I haven't seen my mom for so long. Christian is watching me intently like a fucking crackhead. Taking occasional sips of his coffee. I really shouldn't look at his mouth. I can't look at his mouth. It's so unsettling.
It's so gross. He has this weird thing on his lip.
He's just like chewing with his mouth open. Oh. So do you get along with your stepfather? Of course I do. I grew up with him. He's the only father I know.
The remnants of a blueberry just hanging out.
And what's he like? Ray? He's taciturn. Taciturn. That's it? Gray asks, surprised. I shrug. What does this man expect? My entire life story? Taciturn, like a stepdaughter. Gray prompts. I refrain from rolling my eyes at him. Well, he likes soccer, European soccer to be specific.
What?
And bowling, and fly fishing, and making furniture. He's a carpenter, ex-army, I sighed.
What?
And you lived with him. Yes, he likes European soccer.
That's
It's just football.
That's football.
But we're too stupid to know that because E.L. James don't think anybody's smart enough.
But you would just call it soccer, not European
football.
soccer. What?
And you lived with him? Yeah, my mom met husband number 3 when I was 15, and I stayed with Ray. He frowns as if he doesn't understand. You didn't want to live with your mom, he asks. This really is none of his business. Husband number 3 lived in Texas. My home was in Monte Santo, and, my mom was newly married. I stop. My mom never talks about husband number 3. Where is Greg going with this? This is none of his business. So fine, 2 can play at this game. Tell me about your parents, I ask. He shrugs. Well, my dad's a lawyer. My mom's a pediatrician. They live in Seattle. Oh. Well, he's had an affluent upbringing. And I wonder about a successful couple who adopts 3 kids, and one of them turns into a beautiful man who takes on the business world and conquers it single-handed. What drove him to be this way? His folks must be proud.
Probably.
What do your siblings do? Elliot's in construction. My little sister's in Paris studying cookery under some renowned French chef. His eyes cloud with irritation. He doesn't want to talk about his family or himself. Well, I hear Paris is lovely, I murmur. Why doesn't he want to talk about his family? Is it because he's adopted? It's beautiful. Have you ever been? He asks, his irritation forgotten. I've never left mainland USA. So now we're back to banalities. What is he hiding?
What?
Would you like
Isn't that what you wanted?
Would you like to go sometime? To Paris? I squeak. This has thrown me. Who wouldn't want to go to Paris? Of course! I concede, but it's England that I would really like to visit.
Okay.
He cocks his head to one side, running his index finger across his lower lip. It just says, oh. Because? I blink rapidly, concentrate steel. It's the home of Shakespeare, Austen, the Bronte sisters, Thomas Hardy. You knew it was coming. We've known since page 1. I'd like to see the places that inspired those people to write such wonderful books.
God, I hate Shakespeare.
All this talk of literary greats reminds me that I should be at home studying. I glance at my watch. I'd better go. I have to study. For your exams. Yes, they start Tuesday. All right. Where's Miss Kavanaugh's car? In the hotel parking lot. I'll walk you back. Thank you for the tea, Mr. Gray. He smiles his odd, I've got a whooping big secret smile. You're welcome, Anastasia. It's my pleasure. Now come on. He commands and holds his hand out to me. I take it, bemused, and follow him out of the coffee shop. We stroll back to the hotel, and I'd like to say it's in companionable silence. He's at least looks his usual calm, collected self. As for me, I'm desperately trying to gauge how our little coffee morning has gone. I feel like I've been interviewed for a job, but I'm not even sure what before. Say, do you wear jeans? He asks out of the blue. Mostly. He nods. We're back at the intersection across the road from the hotel. My mind is reeling. What an odd question. And I'm aware that our time together is limited. This is it. This was it. And I've completely blown it. I know. Oh, God, perhaps he has someone. Do you have a girlfriend? I blurt out. Oh my God, I just said that out loud.
Yeah.
His lips quirk up in a half smile and he peers down at me. No, Anastasia, I don't do the girlfriend thing. He says softly. Oh, what does that mean?
I am gay.
I mean, he's not gay. Oh my God, maybe he is. He must have lied to me in the interview. And for a moment, I think he's going to follow up with more explanation. Some clue to this cryptic statement. He could be asexual. Yeah. But he doesn't. I have to go. I have to try to reassemble my thoughts. I have to get away from him. I walk forward and I trip, stumbling headlong into the road.
Into a sewer where I die.
Oh shit, Anna! Gray cries.
Oh damn!
Oh shit!
You just ate it.
He tugs the hand that he's holding so hard that I fall back against him just as a cyclist whips past, narrowly missing me, heading the wrong way up this one-way street.
Like a bicycler?
Yeah, it's just a bicycler. Somebody almost hit her with a bike.
I think
cyclist.
Would have been fine.
Yeah. It all happens so fast. One minute I'm falling. The next, I'm in his arms and he's holding me tightly against his chest. I inhale his clean, wholesome scent. He smells of freshly laundered linen and some expensive body wash. Oh God, it's intoxicating. I inhale deeply. Say, you okay? He whispers. He has one arm around me.
I'm gonna imagine that he smells like snails.
Snails?
Because it's expensive body wash.
Snails?
Caviar.
Oh.
He smells like...
That's not... caviar is...
escargot.
Yeah.
He smells like snails.
These snails. He has one arm around me, clasping me to him, while the fingers of his other hand softly trace my face, gently probing, examining me. His thumb brushes my lower lip, and his breath hitches. He's staring into my eyes, and I hold his anxious, burning gaze for a moment, or maybe it's forever. But eventually, my attention is drawn to his beautiful mouth, and for the first time...
Look at his mouth!
The first time in 21 years, I want to be kissed. I want to feel a mouth on mine. That is the end of chapter 3. It sounds so disgusting when it's phrased that way.
Like, what the fuck?
I want to feel a mouth on
Why you
mine.
gotta say it like that?
Oh shit, Anna! Alright, that's the end of chapter 3. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Large turnout today.
Hey.
Alright, have a good night. Bye.